He's Shaquille O'Neal, the big podcast with Shaq. It's on Podcast One, and Shaq joins us now. Good morning, Shaq. How are you?
Dan, I didn't know you were from Istanbul. Get it? You're a turkey. McLovin texted me that joke. He told me to say it to you.
McLovin, did you actually text Shaq that joke?
I did. We text back and forth every day, all night long.
Every day.
Yeah. That's good stuff, Shaq. Thank you. That's the only reason why we wanted to talk to you, so you could deliver that line.
Yes.
What are you having for breakfast today? Have you had breakfast?
No, not yet. I'm actually on my way up to New York.
All right. What would breakfast consist of for you?
Egg white omelet, sausage and cheese, and a glass of apple juice and 2 bottles of water.
But you don't go crazy. You don't do big meals.
No, I don't do big meals. My problem, used to be, right now I'm on a 30-day Rock Fit workout challenge, but my problem always used to be sandwiches. It just used to be sandwiches. But then I'm sitting next to Barkley and I see his belly protruding way over his shirt. I said to myself, I can't look like that, so I got to start working out. So I haven't been able to eat sandwiches in a while. So I'm just chicken and fish and salad. If
you played Barkley one-on-one right now,
it would have been the same thing when I entered the league in 1992. I would have demolished him. I would have made him quit.
When you're asked about do people say who's the best big man of all time? Do they ask you?
Yes, they ask me all the time.
Okay,
yeah.
Where do you rank?
I put myself probably 4 or 5.
Okay, now are you being humble or do you really feel that way?
Well, I'm being humble. It's just that a lot of people don't pay homage to the people before them. Russell was the father of all big men. Well, actually, George Mikan. So Russell was the father of 11 championships. And then Kareem got 6. And then I could probably play myself 3 or 4, but Akeem Olajuwon got the better of me. It's the only guy to do that. So I put him 3 and I put myself 4.
If you came in right now, how different would your game be?
I'd be making $300 million. It wouldn't be different at all. I'm not going to change what I do just because everybody else is shooting jumpers. You shooting jumpers just tells me that you don't like the punishment that I'm about to give you. And you just want to pick and pop and shoot jumpers. No, that's not how big men play the game.
Did you ever...
a lot of these guys now are products of their environment. What I mean by that, they watching Garnett, Duncan, Nowitzki, and those guys who had the ability to step out. But now guys are, making that their first option.
Did you ever feel sorry for a defender?
Never. And I tried to put my bow in his face area so he know that I was coming.
Okay, well, that leads me to what is allowable, what is part of the game, and leads me to Pachulia. What did you see with that play on Kawhi Leonard?
Okay, as a big guy, when you overextend and put your leg out like that, it will always be a 50-50 chance that the guy will sprain his ankle and then the other 50 that he won't. Guys know this. It's an unwritten rule that you're not supposed to get under shooter. And Popovich makes a great point. He had a 2-step with an extra leap closeout. And when you stick your leg out like that, it's 50-50. It's always 50-50. Some guys made that part of the defense, but every player knows and every big guy knows, especially the guy with big feet. The bigger your feet are and the closer you are to the guy, the higher the chances of somebody coming down on their ankle.
Do you think Pachulia is a dirty player?
I wouldn't say dirty player. He's physical, but I think he knew what he was doing on that play.
Talking to Shaquille O'Neal, NBA on TNT. Also, Podcast One, you can hear the big podcast with Shaq. I remember the first time I interviewed you, I think we were at the Marriott in Marina Del Rey, and you were with your dad. But I wondered about, Sarge and his influence on you, and then you see LeVar Ball with Lonzo Ball. Could you have ever seen your dad have more of an influence like LeVar Ball is having with Lonzo on your career?
My dad had a powerful influence, but he understood that, from age 2, from age 18, 16 years of him raising me as a responsible young man, teaching me about trials and tribulations, teaching me about other players before me, their failures. See, a lot of people don't know that when an NBA player messed up, I would get in trouble. I would have to go punch. Like, my dad would come in with the paper and he said, "You read this, you can never do this." So, he was definitely a big influence. But he also gave me the ability to say, "You know what? You're a man. You run your business how you run it, and I'll be here to support you if anybody trying to mess you over."
Did he support you or did he push you?
He pushed me, and he supported me. He wasn't. He was a inside the house extroverted person. But when you mess with him and mess with his family, then he can get loud and get crazy. Because he was a drill sergeant, so he only knew one way, and that was yelling. And that was a lot of energy, and that was good. But after I came out and I had my plan laid out, he started crying. He said, "You know what? You're a man. You got this."
Convince me how the.
And I never needed him to speak for me. The ball guy. Like, I never hear him speak. His father answering all the questions. We. But it's not a we situation. It's a your son situation. And then if my son ever gets to the point to where he's going to be a hell of a player, a top player, hopefully you won't ever hear my name. Because I'm going to say, "You know what, buddy? I raised you the right way. I've been there and done it before. If you need some advice, I'm here. But I'm not going to say, hey, do this, do that, do that." No. You're not supposed to live for your kids. You're supposed to live for your kids.
If Lonzo Ball would go to the Lakers, Shaq, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's something that Magic's going to have to deal with. I think it'd be a good thing for the city. Listen, the kid.
That was a great laugh. That was a great laugh right there.
He's a hell of a player, and his father said some things that are very correct. Lonzo makes people better. That's the true definition of a great player. Like, he's a great passer, great ball handler, big size, big body, but it's something that Magic and my good friend Jimmy Buss will have to deal with. But you know what? They don't mess around. They don't let things like that happen. They're definitely in control.
If you were playing and Lonzo Ball came in with all this attention surrounding him, would you do anything different to him? Will players do anything different to him playing against him?
Well, as a big guy, you don't worry about a guard.
I think we lost Shaq. If he's going to the airport, Fritzy, it's okay. I just wanted to ask him about the Celtics and the Cavs. If he can convince me the Celtics can make this interesting. We'll see. I think he's officially gone there, Fritzy. See if you can get him back. If not, then don't worry about it.
I'll text him, Dan. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're never going to hear the end of that one.
I didn't know that you and Shaq are pen pals here.
Well, this week I've been jealous. Will Ferrell gave a shout out to Fritzy's singing voice yesterday on the show, and I haven't heard the end of that. Now I got Shaq texting me.
Yeah, well, good for you. By the way, McLovin's going to take a victory lap because of something that Tom Brady had to say, and it's something McLovin has been saying about Tom Brady. Shaq, you back with us?
Will you get your phone fixed in that building?
Blame Fritzy.
I need you to go on the top of the roof, connect the red wire to the black wire, hold it until we finish this conversation.
Convince me how the Celtics make this interesting with the Cavs.
Well, they have the home court advantage. They got to get both these games. You got to put the Cavs in the hole. And, first of all, the Cavs are not going to get tight. They've been in all situations. But you got to put them in the hole because you never know what happens. Somebody can get hurt or something can happen. And then, somebody can go down. And then if you're up 2 games to none, then maybe you can steal a game and then you come home and end it. You got to win at home.
Where do you have LeBron James? Do you rank players? I know Barkley says LeBron can't be in his top 5, which I think is silly. But do you?
You said he can't be?
Yeah. Do you think he can?
I think you have to rate players in their time. You know how they had the top 50 lists? And
yeah.
With the 50 to 100, you have to do it like that because, listen, it's hard to replace a Magic, a Mike, a Malone, all these guys. LeBron's a great player, but I'm biased when it comes to things like that because I always put the guys before us as the ones that paved the way for us. LeBron's definitely a top 10 player, but it's hard for him. Who you going to put him before? You're going to put him before Magic? You're going to put him before Mike? You're going to put him before Kobe? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know he's a fabulous player. He's the true definition of a great player. It makes everyone around him better, and he's always done it the right way. You never hear of him getting into trouble. He's a family guy. He's a community guy. So, but Mike and Dr. J have always been my two guys, and nobody can replace that.
There's no way LeBron, even if he got to the same number of titles as Mike or even got to 5, that you wouldn't put him up there on that pedestal?
I never said he's not up there. He's up there, but I'm just saying, is he equal to those guys? Is he better than those guys? Now, this is barbershop talk that a lot of people have. It makes very interesting conversation. But for me, being an older guy, nobody did it like Mike. And I played with Kobe. And then when I left Kobe, he continued to do it. He was a monster, too. And, you know, I grew up watching Magic and Bird and Carl and Barkley and all those guys. Kind of tough.
You should do a barbershop show.
I should.
Yeah, you should. Just, you know, do you cut hair?
I cut hair. I can do baldies. And McLovin, I'll give you $3,000 if you let me cut your hair bald to your favorite charity.
There you go, McLovin. $3,000 to your favorite charity. Shaq will shave you bald.
Let's make it 5.
Let's make it 4.
Deal, except that I don't actually know if I follow through with this.
When, do you is it that you don't trust Shaq paying you, or you don't trust him cutting your hair?
No, I trust Shaq both, but I think I would look so awful bald.
Yeah, but you just wear a hat.
Oh, you have a nice head. You have a nice head.
All right,
Pause.
I'll do it for charity.
And I'm not going to tell you the date. I'm just going to pop up. That's the kicker.
I love that. I love that. So
that's going to pop up.
That's very nice of you, Shaq. Safe travels up to New York. Always great to talk to you. The big podcast
thank you,
with Shaq, Podcast One. And I know Ernie Johnson got a lot of credit for his Shaq impersonation.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Is it better than mine?
I haven't heard yours. Let me hear yours.
Dan Patrick, shut the hell up.
That's pretty good.
Well, safe travels there.
That's pretty good. All right. Dan Patrick, shut the hell up.
Thank you, Shaq. That's Shaq. And there we go. He's going to shave McLovin's head. $4,000 to your favorite charity.
No, you have a very nice head.
Sound like Andre the Giant or something.
McLovin, go up on the roof and connect the red wire and the black wire.
The kicker is I'm just going to pop up whenever. Shave your head.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.